I've had a girl named Gianna work for me for 4.5 years, and the business is 5 years old. So she was with me within the fundraising stage too, and she actually pitched me a chef, and I was more interested in her. I was like, that's great. And what do you do? Because it's quite rare that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming, ladies.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah. Backstory, we were at Beverly for a collaboration event, and we met the girls there, me and Ellie, and we had the best chats. We were neighbours, actually.
We were sitting next to you, and we could not stop talking about business.
We chatted all day, all night.
We clicked straight
How
away.
good's business?
And then you guys have completely different businesses. You're just besties, basically, but two different businesses. And we thought, let's just get them together and see where the
Here we
convo goes.
Here's our story.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us, how did you meet first?
We met as I was a customer at Queen's Harvest, and then Nat started messaging me on the Food for Everyone Instagram account. And then I'm so excited. I always wanted to do a market poster at the big market, and then just like a light bulb moment was just like, oh, I should do it with Queen's Harvest. I love Nat. And then we started, hanging out and just naturally became friends. So is that how it went?
Pretty much. I remember being overseas and getting your email, and I think it was something like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh my God, I was so happy. And of course I always
We still
admired
keep
what
each
you
other.
did,
Yeah.
and what you still do. And for a small business like ours, it was, it's a big deal. So I was very thrilled.
What's a big deal for me? I was thrilled.
Oh my God, you guys
We
are just
love
the
each
cutest.
other.
Yeah,
They're so cute.
So maybe we'll start with Gemma. Like, why don't you tell us a little bit about like you, and like how did you get to where you are today? And
Well, I could literally talk for an hour about this, but I'll try and keep it. So, do you remember that thing that happened like 5 years ago? It was like COVID. We all
Starts
like
with
blocked
a
it out of our mind.
Yeah.
I was working in marketing, and COVID hit and I lost my job. And it was like everyone else lost their job. I spent a lot of time at home, obviously in lockdown, and I just reverted back to what I loved doing. So I was doing a lot of painting while my partner was on Zoom calls. And I was doing so much painting, and the theme was always food. I don't know why. I just think because I was missing the connection of being with people, I just started painting food. And it came to a point, I don't know if you remember when the Flemington and North Melbourne towers got locked down. And if you remember on TV, it was like 2 cases, 5 cases, 10,000 cases, and then they decided there was a case in the North Melbourne towers that it was COVID, and they locked the doors and they didn't let any of the community out to go shopping.
Did you live there? Were you living there? Or?
I wasn't living there, but
No.
it was worldwide news, not just in Melbourne. It would literally made headlines around the world. But imagine having a virus and saying you're actually not allowed outside, and you're like, oh well, I have no food. Too bad. You have to stay inside. So doors locked, and it was just a really negative time in Melbourne and around the world.
We had it tough.
Yeah, we had it tough.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, there was this amazing charity named Fair Share that were re-delivering all the meals. So in that, the government they delivered meals that were inedible, that were culturally inappropriate, meat for vegetarians, that kind of stuff. And the charity were re-delivering nutritious meals that were, it was super important that the families were fed. and be able to get their necessities and have nourishing meals. It's a human right. And I was just like, that is amazing. Why is everyone so angry? Like, yes, you can be angry. You have a right, but there's also some magic in it where people were helping people, which was really lovely. So I wanted to raise money for that charity. So I turned to what I kind of only know, art. So I asked 4 cook friends to give me a recipe, and I said, give me a recipe. I want to paint it and turn it into a recipe poster to raise money for Fair Share, because they're doing such amazing work for the public housing. And my friends were like, oh, okay.
Oh, so that lockdown was in the public housing
Yes,
at that
yeah,
time.
all
Oh, I
public
missed that
government
part.
housing, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, there were 4 close friends. So my 80-year-old neighbour, who's a fantastic cook, she's a French cook, and she gave me a French recipe. Julia Ostro, who is sort of a bit of a Melbourne celebrity.
Shout out. We
Brilliant person and chef and cook. Clementine Day, who's an old friend, and Ellie Bordana, who used to be chef at Hope Street Radio. So I just, got their recipes and painted it and turned it into, the posters, and I named the business Food for Everyone because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get food for everyone. And I just got prints from my friend who is a printer. I took some photos and launched it on Instagram saying I'm raising funds for Fair Share. This is what I'm doing. Pre-order for 2 weeks. And within that 2 weeks, I raised $33,000 for the charity. And there was a lot of rolling of posters by myself at home in the kitchen afterwards.
Wow.
So, it was a bit of
So
a
incredible.
crazy roundabout story, which that was 5 years ago now. So
And it changed your life, basically.
it had changed my life. Like, who would have thought, like, if you told the girl more than 5 years ago that I wasn't going to be doing marketing in fashion, and I'd be an artist doing what I love and working with artists and restaurateurs and cooks around the world, I honestly wouldn't believe it. And it just makes me very happy to be doing it.
Beautiful. So
Yeah.
before that, you were doing fashion marketing?
Yes,
Okay.
I was a marketer. I'm a trained graphic designer, so that's what I studied at university. And you sort of, as graphic designers, you sort of always get niched into marketing. They're like, oh, you can do newsletters.
Yeah.
And then you learn on the job, which is fantastic. And you kind of know how to build a website, do marketing, do Instagram, do Photoshop.
Yeah.
Like, you sort of can do the whole brand
Especially these days.
look and feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was an amazing skill that I acquired that has helped me for this brand. Yeah,
Beautiful.
That was incredible.
so that's me.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And so great that you had that overnight. It's not an overnight success, but the 2 weeks.
3 weeks,
to have
yeah.
proof of, or 3 weeks to have proof of concept, like that must have been
could not-
very validating.
I could not believe it, and it just made me so happy. I was just like, I don't think I've felt this happiness in so long. Like, I have worked so hard all my life, and it's always been hard. You're working for someone else, and it's always their vision, and I always love doing my own projects at home. Like, this is my second business. I used to have a bed linen brand, which I ended up closing it down because I just didn't have enough time and love to put into it, and I really wanted that paycheck of full time. So I ran it on the side. It sort of fizzled. So I learned so many lessons from my first business, just to jump in and do it. If you have found something, who cares if you make mistakes, just jump in and do it.
So you always had that entrepreneurial energy.
Yeah, my whole family
You
is a
wanted
little bit
that.
like that.
What
I
do
don't
they
think
all
I had
do?
a choice. Why did I even have a full-time job? So, yeah.
What do they do, your family? Just quickly before we get to Nat's story.
My mum has always worked, so she was the first person in her family to go to university, and she moved. So she's from Western Australia, and she moved to Melbourne to study, and then became a teacher at Melbourne University. And she worked her way up she had 3 children, so I'm the youngest, and it was just the case where she loved working, and wanted to set an example for her children. And she was a teacher at a TAFE and then worked her way up to be a director at a TAFE, which is really cool because I always thought I was like, my mum is this, like, she's awesome. And my dad is a sewing machine mechanic, so I would say that that's the creative side where possibly I get the entrepreneur stuff and my mum is the business. So together they've sort of like nurtured this weird creative child.
Beautiful.
So weird.
Yeah. And I had 2 older brothers, so I don't think I had a choice.
Yeah.
I had to punch my way up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nat,
Hi.
hello. How did you get here?
I feel like in a way I've kind of always been here, but I took so many different paths, twists and turns. Not so much to avoid it, but to explore other things. But my heart has always been where I am today. So I'm just glad to finally be here fully, completely, not have any other distractions, no other job to do. This is like me 100% now.
So for those who don't know, like, tell us a little bit about where you are right now, and
Sure.
yeah, I'd be really keen to listen to the things you explored to get here.
Yeah, so I'm a 3rd generation member of a family business. We've got our fruit shop at the Vic Market, and my grandparents started the stall in the early 60s, so they came over from Italy, and that just became their bread and butter. And my father and my uncle then took over years later, and of course that's just where we grew up as kids, you know. I remember having, you know, most Saturdays, Sundays at work. I didn't play school sports, didn't do sleepovers, many parties on the weekends. It was like you're at work, you've got a responsibility, and that's just how I grew up. But I grew to love it.
And was that in the market now, the Queen
Yes.
Vic Market?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys started there in the 60s.
Yeah.
And still there since then.
Yeah.
Which is so incredible.
It's
Like,
amazing. It's
such a
beautiful,
legacy.
yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Look, it's no picnic. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's you know, early mornings, long days, long physical days.
I don't know how you do it.
It's people always find it crazy that I made the choice to be here. But
Yeah.
it's so sentimental. It's so emotional that it's like nothing else I ever did ever matched that feeling.
What else did you did? You said you went and explored.
I did a fair bit.
Yeah.
I finished high school, went straight into studies. I studied law, commerce for 5 years. Always thought I wanted to be a lawyer. And I got there and got admitted. And as soon as I started working, I just hated it. I was really unhappy. And as much as I gave it a go, for a time I thought, I'll keep pushing, I'll keep going. And I couldn't find that love and that passion that I knew I needed to really succeed.
Did you think you tried to become a lawyer to kind of get out of this family business thing, or was it like...
No, definitely not. It was not like a means of escape. It was, I've got to find myself elsewhere outside the business.
That's what I mean. Were you trying to not do what your family kind of expected of you? Do you know what I mean? You wanted to try and forge your own path.
Well, look, that was always important to me, and I thought I'd give that a go. But the expectation of my parents never... They just wanted me to be happy.
Mm.
Actually, they encouraged me to, try other things, and always said, if the family business is here, if you ever need to fall back on something, we're around. But there was never any pressure to do either thing.
But also, I feel like, honestly, like, by the time you finish high school and get into uni, like, you know nothing about life. Like, you honestly will be, you'll be one of the very luckiest people if you could actually find what you like out of high school. Like,
I agree.
Like, if you could find that talent of yours, like, it's very hard to be like, oh, what do I want to be in?
And I always envied people who had that very linear path. I wished sometimes that I was like, okay, I definitely want to be a doctor. I definitely want to be this.
Yeah.
And you just go through, and okay, everyone, I guess, faces their own battles along the way. But I always thought, oh my God, I wish it was that simple. But I sort of went through so many different things. I tried PR for a while, and that kind of fizzled out too. Yeah. So it feels like there were so many twists and turns in my journey that it ultimately led me to where I need to be, which is here with my family. So
Were you ever
How'd
like... Yeah, sorry, you go.
How'd you make that transition back? So you were doing law, and then you did PR, and then you're just like...
I went back to law after that.
Yeah.
And then...
How old are you at this point?
Oh, this is only a couple of years ago, so 25, 26.
Okay.
I was so ready. I almost kind of pushed myself maybe a little bit too far and was like, all right, now we're at breaking point. Now I've had enough. Now I was like, almost like, okay, now I know what I need to do. This is for me now. I'm straight back. I'm Queen's Harvest is...
Do you feel like, because it's an institution and like an old story, do you feel a sense of like purpose to carry on?
Yes.
Okay, so
That's
a sense of
no-brainer.
just purpose to carry on that legacy.
Yeah.
Of
And
like your...
it shouldn't be confused with obligation. It's
Yeah,
not
of
an
course.
expectation.
Yeah.
It's genuinely there's so much pride, there's so much love in it.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get emotional talking about it because like you peel back all those layers of it's just a job. It's like, this is where we came from. This is my grandparents could, my grandmother was very educated. My grandfather could not read or write when he came to Australia. So the two of them together, they started our family business where this is the beginning,
Yeah.
And here we are, 3 generations later, hopefully 4. We can keep it going. And there's so much pride in that.
And what do you guys like? What's Queen's Harvest for those who don't know?
Queen's Harvest is our retail outlet. So we weren't always Queen's Harvest. The business was then renamed after my dad. And that's where we were for a bulk of the time at the big market. And then we relocated still within the market, and we rebranded ourselves as Queen's Harvest. Credit to my uncle, who's probably one of the more creatives in our family, who came up with the name. Being the Queen Victoria Market, it just felt natural. We called it Queen's Harvest. That was 2018.
What do you sell there? I think that it's kind of originally you guys were a fruit shop,
Yes,
and now
we've now very much expanded our range. Gem can tell you can
Yes.
be a bit overwhelming.
So you walk in. Do you need olive oil? Yes, we've got olive oil. Do you actually need broad beans? Yes, we've got broad beans, and they're just about in season. Oh, the herbs? Yes, they're beautiful. And organic apples. Organic?
Everything's-
No,
Not organic.
cut this out. Yeah, just
Eggs?
if you want citrus,
Not quite.
No eggs.
these guys just know everything. And the best thing about going into Queen's Harvest is you always feel so welcome. And they're always smiling, and no matter who you talk to, you just feel like you're walking into you feel like you're in a family business, which is so nice.
It's literally what it is. You can talk to my cousin, you can talk to my uncle, you can talk to me. There's like, and our team just love what they do, and that's the difference.
And your regulars?
Oh, my
She's
regulars, of course. Our
tell them about
regulars,
the regulars.
are the best. There are people who, when I think about people who make Queen's Harvest a part of their day or their week, oh my God, I love that. It makes me feel like we're doing something right here. But sorry, back to your question, what we sell. Pretty much everything.
Pretty much.
A very wide range of fruits and veggies. Then we expanded to chili oils, olive oils, condiments, pickles, salt, pepper, the whole lot. I can't stop. There's so many beautiful things that I want on the shelf.
And what kind of like role and energy you bring into the business? Because I feel like, you've got like that, young approach and like media and digital world.
Yeah.
And so how did you approach that?
It's a very multifaceted role. It's kind of like whatever anyone needs, if Nat can do it, I will. Mainly I manage the retail side of things, but of course then socials, became really important, and I just kind of self-taught, really. I mean, we don't have a huge budget for marketing and socials, so it was, I enjoy it and that really helps, but I really had to kind of learn and figure things out along the way. That's the most fun part about my job, the socials. But it can be very demanding. You're sort of switching hats all the time. There's admin.
Filming a video, then serving a customer.
Yeah, literally.
At the same time. I've seen
Yeah,
you do it.
Jem will know when we film together, it's like, can be chaos sometimes because,
It's nice.
we're there. It's the best kind of chaos. There's a lot that I do. And being a family business, we don't have departments. We don't have, it's like, we all do everything pretty much. So
Is there one boss or?
She's the boss. I've seen her boss
She's
people
the
around.
boss.
Your little cousins.
I mean,
Excuse me, someone at the register. I've seen her and she won't tell anyone.
being the oldest, there is that pressure, I guess, and that
The
at
oldest
least
cousin?
I feel it.
You're not the
Yes.
oldest person there, sure.
No, the oldest cousin.
Yeah.
But I take my job, not too seriously, but I take it seriously. I'm very passionate about what I do, and maybe pedantic, a bit too pedantic, I'll say that. But, things need to be tidy, things need to be, I'm like there lining up the labels on the jars on the shelf. Like, I just think the presentation.
That's pride, not pedantic.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
You're welcome.
Others may call it pedantic, i.e. my mother. I love you. But yeah, I guess all those little things just make us who we are. And,
Do you work with your parents? You work with your parents there?
parents, brother, not there. It's mainly my uncle, my cousins, my brother occasionally. But my parents and my other brother, they have different roles.
Because you're telling me that you live at home and you
live
work
at home,
there.
live with my family, work with my family, everything.
What's that like?
It's just, again, a very interesting kind of chaos. It kind of works, but it is difficult, kind of different. When I was working in law or working in PR, I'd come home and I'd be able to switch off because the work was left at work. Kind of good at setting those boundaries. But when it comes to this is like you live and breathe it constantly.
The gloves
Which
are
is
off.
something I actually wanted to talk to both of you about, like, now that you both run like your own business and have your own thing going on, like, how are you finding it comparing to like having, you both had also like a full-time role. How are you finding it, Gemma, in terms of like balance? And I know you told me about your child and how things are and switching off and being obsessed and like keeping the business alive. And
I so when I first started this business, I could not switch off, but it gave me so much energy. Like it felt like it was what I was meant to do. Like if I wasn't painting, I was so depressed. And it sadly it's not sad. It just is very bad timing. I had a baby when I launched the business. It's not
Saddest
good timing.
thing.
It's bad timing. But he is wonderful and he is a riot, and I just think
He's a joy.
maybe he forced me to do it. Like he and my husband, like they're both always so proud of me, and same with my parents. But before the business, like when I was working with other people, I had bosses that wanted things all the time, and I brought my computer home more than I bring my computer home now. So one of the pillars of success for me is happiness and balance of life. And I think if you have a good balance, that is like a big tick in business. Like I don't want that life of being stressed and working at home, because I just think it kills the energy. And if I don't make that big sales week, like who cares? Like sometimes I just think, like, yes, I have to pay my employees, but you know, scraping by sometimes isn't a bad thing. It's just different chapters of business. Like you will, you know, we're coming up to Christmas soon, and that's when we'll be working hard. So yeah, it's different seasons, I think. And we're into the busy season soon, so yeah, I'm excited.
And how did you go from like that first experiment in like 3 weeks? You're like, oh shit, I can do that, or like, did you quit your job straight away, or was it like?
Well, I was made redundant, so I had no job, and I also couldn't get a job, so maybe a blessing. Because so during COVID, everyone was losing jobs. No one was hiring. They were downsizing, especially in the graphic design department and marketing. Like they'd rather hire juniors and just make do with what they have, which, you know, that's just the reality of what happened. And weird blessing for me. So I launched the business. I was so pregnant, rolling posters. And then I said to my partner, like, you know, after I'd given birth and come out from the weeds, I was like, I probably should get a job. And he was like, you have a job and you love it. Why don't you make this into a business? So I thought about it and I was like, yeah, actually. And I just, as I said, like, I think I'm lucky to be able to get such creative energy from what I do, and also hire people and help people at the same time. So I just had to make it work. And I didn't do it on my own.
In saying that, like you doing what you did, if you can do that, then you can basically do anything. Like there's nothing, I don't feel like there could be anything harder. Like imagine if me and you, Billy, started Heart Media, but we also had a child at the same time.
Man, oh man. Well, let me say.
Like everything must seem like a walk in the park now compared to that.
It was not a walk in the park. I was, to be transparent, family members and anyone that wants a family, it was like, you talk about living with your family. And there's so many times where I just wish that all of my family lived in the same street and we all just babysat each other's babies. Because I just think that old mentality of, you know, my mum grew up on the same street as her cousins and uncles. And
so nice.
Yeah, we sort of have been pushed out. Like we all want the Australian dream where we want a mortgage, but you can only afford it in Frankston. But then your brother lives on the other side of town, and then your mum lives on the other side of town. So like, it's not, life isn't like that anymore. And sometimes I wish it was. So there's like mentality where, you know, I'm getting my neighbour to look after my baby. I'm stalking someone who, I ended up finding a nanny who was a beautiful girl who actually bought an artwork off me, and I was like, what do you do? And she's like, I'm a uni student. I was like, do you need a job? Do you want to be a nanny? And she was like, not really. Next week she comes back and says, I actually wouldn't mind doing that. And I was like, okay, so it's happening. So you actually have to pull it all to you if you don't have those resources around you.
Recruit yourself. That's it.
That's a hustle mindset. Just hustling on getting the child.
It's not. It's called desperation.
I love it.
I suffered from postnatal depression really badly.
Oh, sorry to hear.
So I just had to. There was a choice. I could just be, you know, in the holes, or go out and do it. So yeah, I chose.
Get out and did it.
Get out and do it.
Well.
Yeah.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
To have done. Well done.
Not by myself, with so many like supporters. So yeah.
Do you feel like it's a bit different growing up in an Italian environment with like those like family kind of values, and do you feel like it's kind of like falling apart as well, being you know, around the family and in the one street, which is like such beautiful times, honestly. Like
I couldn't imagine growing up any different. It's so special. We really all have each other so close by, and we see each other quite literally every day. And sometimes I think, oh my goodness, if we didn't have this business, if we didn't have the connection to, you know, to see each other every day at work, you sort of wonder, oh my God, how often do we see each other? Yeah. Some people find it crazy. It can be sometimes, but we love it. We don't know anything different. And these are sort of values that you're sort of raised with in our culture, that your family is everything, and without them, you know, you're nothing really. And so that's just the way we've grown up, and something that I really love to continue. And we're all the same in that sense, because we all value each other so much, and what we can offer one another, and it's very special.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the guy mentioned something that actually kind of stuck with me about like how, like, you know, the new world, like everyone kind of like push for like, to be independent and, you know, like support yourself and like be there for yourself, which is really cool. But, you know, like you end up just being on your own and like not, you know.
We're not made to actually be like that.
Huh?
We're not made to actually be like that.
Yeah,
like we haven't actually evolved anywhere further than when we all relied on like a group of 100 people to be in one community and support us, and like what you were saying, have people looking after our kids and do all that kind of stuff.
It's a village
People
of
need
people that you have around you.
And I feel like you have to live it to realize it. Sadly, and especially like I always say this about business as well. Like, you know, I call on Nat to help me with business, and she calls on me. Like, it's also
look after each other.
It's in personal life and business life, as you guys would know. Like, it takes a village.
But then I could imagine, you know, like having a child and then kind of being a little bit different than like your other friends that don't have children. And like, speaking from a personal experience, like if a friend of mine, like, you know, have a child, you kind of constantly feel a little bit of like, they have their own life. And so that must have been like another layer of like,
it's weird because I had Francis, that's his name, he's 4 now. We had him unplanned, which is the best kind of, I'm like, thank God we did that. Otherwise I would have had no child. It's definitely like, I was just saying to a friend the other day, they were asking me what I do, and they're like, so you get to work, and how do you know how to do anything after doing all that stuff that you've done with your family? And I was like, I don't know. Like, but I've hired people to help me with that. So I've got 3 people who work with me. One's a general manager. She reads me like a book. She knows when she directs me in the right way. I have a marketing and comms manager, and I have a new social media manager, and they're just they're like family, friends. Like, they've seen me cry, I've seen them cry. It's hilarious. And we all have different lives. Like, everyone has their things, and, you know, we're all busy, but when we get to work, we make it count. And the biggest thing I've learned from having a child is I'm really picky about what I do and what time I spend on things. Like, time is, I hate the word time is money, but like, you can't get that back. And when, you know, you guys would know that, like, there's a lot of time wasting activities you can do. You know, like selective email collaborations coming through, and you just got to figure out, you know, what's your end goal, and is it a noisy task, like a noisy collab that is coming at you? So I just think, is this a noisy thing that is happening? Will it get me to my goal? And usually the answer is no. I think, the biggest lesson I've learned is, a bit more choosy with my time, and I just make it count.
Of course. The less time you have, the more selective you have to be with your time. You can have many friends, and then you start having less and less friends. What is your goal?
My goal? My goal is just to do what I love, which is paint. Like, I just love painting, and that gives me energy. I love running my own business, and I love being able to hire people and give back at the same time. So, the
team size sounds so nice.
4
person team.
Yeah, and a dog.
Remember the
How big is your team?
At Queen's Harvest, there's about 10 of us.
10.
But the business as a whole, we have a wholesale arm, we have a juice production. There's probably about 35 in total.
All family?
Not quite.
Not quite.
We didn't have enough cousins.
Yeah, the ship's
I
on
always
over.
say we needed to have more cousins. It's the difficulty is when you have a family function. Oh my God, who's gonna run the show?
True.
We've got a wedding coming up, and we're like, oh my God, no one's around. So you really have to plan for that. We have an amazing team, who, again, people who can read you like a book. They're like your right hand, and we're so lucky. And yeah, we rely on them so much. Yeah, when we've got to ship off and go to a wedding or a function or a party.
I love it. That's a big issue for your business. It's like, if we're going on a family holiday, that's it. The whole thing's
Shut down.
over.
I'll do a shift.
All right, you're coming. We're gonna call you.
Me.
Would you say you're a natural leader? Did you pick up leadership, because had you led a team kind of before what you were doing now, or?
Not in the law space, but I kind of feel like I had it in me sort of throughout school and just growing up. Again, being the oldest, you kind of subconsciously take on that role.
Leadership, yeah.
Yeah, you know, I've got 2 younger brothers, and I so often remind them of, I fed you, I changed nappies, I helped mum, I did this. And so you just kind of assume that role. And it's true. There's a science behind it, how each child is so different.
Because I'm the youngest.
Yeah, see? There
And you can tell.
Different kind of privilege there. Okay. So I think, I guess you could say it kind of came naturally to me. And on the flip side, some people think it's kind of crazy. I have a vision, and I like to see things, come to life. And so I just kind of, when I have an idea, I'm like, yes. And it kind of goes back to that obsession. I remember when we met, you brought that up, and I was like, oh my God, I love to be around people who are obsessed with things, obsessed with your work and what you do. And I guess that passion kind of drives that leadership naturally.
Yeah.
So when you're in the right place and you love what you do, you're just like, okay, I'm so excited about everything. I have this vision, and to be obsessed with it is like.
What's the vision? Obviously when you come into a long time operating business, and to bring your own voice, and it's a challenge, you know, because people do get kind of stuck in their own beliefs. What was your approach?
It's pretty tricky. So the business is run by both my dad and my uncle, who are the oldest and youngest child of their children of the family. So they both bring something very different. So it's funny when you get that resistance. Sometimes you can see where it comes from. My uncle is a little bit more creative, and sometimes a little bit more forward thinking. Whereas sometimes when I'm negotiating with my dad, my brothers in particular, they're like, Dad, I've got a new way of doing things. And he needs some time to come around to new ideas. He has every faith in us, but I think his mindset can sometimes be, well, if it's not broken, then why fix it? I've been doing it for so long. I've never needed to change it. But it's actually quite a beautiful thing when they kind of come over to the dark side and they realize, oh my God, like they're onto something.
Like that viral video you guys had.
That was so crazy. It was, and again, no one ever plans to go viral. You never think I'm gonna make it.
Was it the chip video?
The chip one, yeah.
Everyone's doing it.
Honestly, I'm just curious, like, what was their reaction when you said, oh, this video got like millions of views?
My dad, he's 63. He actually just became a TikTok user himself. On the iPad, he loves to scroll
on the iPad.
through.
That's the best.
Does he take
And I bet he
pictures
scrolls
with the
like
iPad?
this. With glasses as well. Yeah.
With
the
glasses, essentially. So good. And when I explained it to him, he's like, wait, what do you mean?
On the internet.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Yeah.
It's like, Dad, I've done something big on the internet.
Yeah,
and he's like, I've heard of that.
And I remember a friend of mine saying, if you worked at, like an agency, or if you worked at a a big company and you created content that went viral. Oh, you're in for a pay rise. You're in for a bonus. And I was like, Dad.
Heart Media knows this, don't you?
Do you need
True?
a job?
Not no.
So it was really crazy because I remember needing to post that we'd restocked those chips, and I thought, how do I make this a bit more entertaining? How do I give people a reason to feel excited? Oh yeah, they're back in stock. I just kind of didn't want to post the same old photo all the time. And being at the market, it's so lucky. Like, it's very easy to be inspired. You sort of roam around. There's so many beautiful ingredients, so many amazing people who, you know, help ideas come to life. And I walked past a deli and I remember seeing the Spanish come on, and I thought, okay, Spanish chips, perfect. And then, you know, I picked up a bit of that, some white anchovies.
Yum.
What else I put on? Oh, and the
It
peppers.
looks so good.
Marinated peppers. Yeah, and my my sidekick Gia, she helped me. She's amazing. She always helps me with content, and we were filming it together. And I went home that night, was so excited about it, and I edited it, and then woke up the next morning. I've never experienced anything like that. It was just like day after day after day of follows, comments, likes. It just wasn't stopping, and I was like, is this real? Is this happening?
Did that translate into business for you guys?
We had customers saying, "Have you got these chips? I've seen your video." I mean,
Wow.
it did like go global. Like it reached obviously people who can't show up to Queen's Harvest in the flesh and saying, "Give me these chips," but so much of our community and our customers saw it, and the chips sold out within weeks. It was crazy.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It doesn't always translate to
Yeah.
Yeah,
business
of course,
in
yeah.
especially in our industry. It's tricky. It's not like a pair of sneakers you can just sort of pop online, pick your size and buy it. It's like, okay, you've really got to inspire someone. How do you make produce exciting? So that's kind of where my mind was going with that.
And then how did that later infer your content after that? Did you start thinking,
I was like, okay,
I have
reels,
to make the next video?
Reels every week. Let's go. It actually put a bit of pressure on me. I was like, oh my God, like suddenly I need to keep this up. I need to keep churning out the content. And I made a commitment. I'm like, I'm going to post every day. It wasn't always a reel, but I thought maybe I need a new strategy just to keep this momentum going. And I did that for a good while, posting every day. But doing it on your own is so hard. I got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm taking a break. I'm not posting today. And the world did not end. So.
Yeah, it doesn't end. Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, it created a little bit of pressure, but you know, it's okay to take a break. It can be so
It's a chapter.
consuming.
Business chapter.
Yes.
How long did it take you to go from like solo operating to having a team, Gemma? And like, when did you take that leap of faith? Because I mean, having someone else to pay for is a completely
it's not the most. It's stressful because it's obviously someone's livelihood, but I was 37 weeks pregnant and I was desperate. Not desperate. So I've had a girl named Yana work for me for 4.5 years, and the business is 5 years old. So she was with me within the fundraising stage too, and she actually pitched me a chef, and I was more interested in her. I was like, that's great. And what do you do? Because it's quite rare that people are helpful like that. Like, it was nice of her to be pitching for a friend, and I thought, it seems like she has like some sort of, you know, idea about what I do, and she's interested. So I was just like, oh, do you want to have a phone call to talk about this chef? And I was more asking about what she was doing. So she is super smart. She was studying her honours in PR communications, and she was just about to graduate. And I said, do you want to do a project for Food for Everyone? I'm about to have a baby. She actually was a customer of mine, so she'd have the posters in her kitchen already. And she was, she just said yes straight away. I would love to. Sent me a pitch. I was like, brilliant. She just knew the business and actually cared. So she carried out that while, I was having little boy Francis, and in that time she had moved to Brisbane. And in that time during COVID, I took a holiday to Brisbane and the borders shut and I ended up being locked there. So we stayed in Brisbane for 18 months and
Wow.
with a small child.
You had your baby in Brisbane?
I had him in Melbourne and at I think it was 12 weeks old. We were visiting Brisbane to show him to our family, which is Mike's side, my husband's side.
Okay. Oh, so you started a support network there. I thought you moved up there and then
there
was no one there. You had to. That's crazy.
Still though, like,
It's hectic. Yeah, it's not home.
Yeah. So Jana, who pitched to me and was on contract with me, worked there. So suddenly I had some business support, and she was such a good friend to me. Like, she'd come over and bring me chocachinos, which is cappuccinos, which is what we call it, and she'd look after my baby while we'd like dream up the next thing. And she was like, she had a lot of excitement, and I think she's a smart girl.
and she's still there.
She still works for me, and she does all the PR. So at the start of the business, I just thought, we need to tell this story because we're donating money. We need to build some confidence within our customers, and I just thought the best way to do it is to tell our story through media. So, we had, the usual suspects of telling our stories, like broadsheet, design files, The Age, that kind of thing. So we got into those media sets, and then, the more fundraising we did, the more I could pay for her and raise more money. And we ended up turning it into, when I decided I needed to get a job and turn the business into a business, we turned it into a business. And I had a good friend who I used to work with. She'd always be telling me what she wanted me to be doing. Like, this apple looks like a banana, Gemma. Like, she'd always be giving me unsolicited feedback, and I'd be like, excuse me, but she's a good friend. She's my general manager now. And she's, was always just proud of me and interested. And one day she called me up and was like, can I come work for you? And I said, sure, but doing what? And she's like, I don't know, we'll need to figure it out. And she's like, think about it. She's like, I have all these skills. And I was like, I know what skills you have. You're brilliant. I used to work with you. But she was a jeweler, but she had an entrepreneur mindset and had energy, and I liked her.
That's amazing.
So we took the leap. At that time, I had a wage for myself, and me and my partner decided, well, if we take away my wage, we can hire my friend. So then I had 2 employees. We could grow the business. So that's what we did. I just went wageless for, I think I only started paying myself last year. So it's been tough. But now I get paid,
How good's
and
money?
we still donate back.
How good's getting paid?
Yeah.
How good.
But there's building a team took a lot of sacrifice. It just wasn't like, a lot of people think food for everyone just was magic overnight, but it was just a lot of hard work and brilliant people behind it. And my husband, obviously, he took the hit. We were relying on the one wage with, new fees of childcare and stuff, but whatever, could be worse.
Yeah. You guys sound like a powerful unit together. It sounds like he really inspired you and
Yeah,
was so supportive of
brilliant.
you. Give a shout out to him.
Yes. He is always there's this trap where sadly a lot of, new parents get trapped in, is that, well, childcare is $180 a day. I get paid less than that.
What the fuck?
So
how does anyone afford
It's
this,
fucked.
man?
Yeah.
How
That's
does
Australia.
anyone afford this?
That's why the childcare business is actually so lucrative. So many people are actually starting childcares now.
What the hell?
Yeah, so it's cheaper for women or men, but usually the woman to stay at home, and then the other partner goes to work, and
it's literally
it
literally is cheaper.
it literally is. And then he always encouraged me. He's like, Gemma, let's get the nanny for a day a week. You need to, he's like, do something you love, paint, do Pilates, whatever.
This
like,
guy's so cute. What does he
sleep.
do? Does he work with you now?
He
or?
works at a bank.
Works at a bank.
Yeah. And yeah, he's like, definitely, he's a feminist. He grew up with an older sister and a strong mother and a dad who worked within charities. And yeah, he just wanted to not let me be held back by motherhood. And he knew that, you know, in 5 years, you can lose, you know, there's some, if you don't practice law for X, Y, Z years, you lose your parts of your degree and you have to redo it. So like, there are so many people across the world that get trapped in this. So just like a little bit of hardship for a few years while you have a kid is, and a woman can go to work is good. But yeah, it's just like the navigation of parenthood. Like, I don't think we'll ever get it right, but it's
To
always
be
good
honest,
to have a strong partner.
Francis would have really benefited from being at home with you instead of just being put into a childcare without his actual mother looking after him.
Yeah, well,
So
he had...
it's so much better for the development. as a
Yeah, I was
child.
handing him to other people. Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
always have me. I was like,
Painting,
here you
handing
go,
him
Nanny, here you go, Yana, who works with me. Like, but yeah, he's a hilarious little boy, and
So good.
yeah,
So do you paint all the prints yourself?
not all of them. So
personally?
I did the first 2 collections, which was 8 posters, and I kind of wanted to get other perspectives. You know, I wanted to see what other artists would come up with, and it just made it way more fun and exciting. And working with people, like, it was just me and Yana working by ourselves, and I was really missing community. So, you know, Nat would feel that, you know, customers coming in every day is really nice. Well, I didn't have customers every day. Like, I'm e-commerce, it's a screen. So I just wanted to see people again. So I started commissioning other artists to interpret recipes from other chefs, and it was kind of special for them as well, not just me. So like, you know, an artist painting with a chef, they're in their own world without me, and they have like these conversations about the art and the food, and you know, they learn so much throughout the process that it's really special, and there's so many stories to tell.
That's how our poster was born.
Yeah. So I've done a poster with Nat. That was actually probably my most special project to date. So we worked with. This is crazy. So
you guys are so cute. I can't believe it.
Stop it! But it's
making my heart swell.
So we had.
That's how I felt when you reached out.
We had.
Do we have a photo of it?
Of the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's here. Ding.
You got it.
Ding.
Do you want me to get
I was
it?
actually going to bring one in for you, but I
I know all these empty
I
glasses.
will.
Do you want me to find it?
Yeah.
I'd love to have a look.
Me too.
Yeah.
Speaking of why you get that up, Nat. Speaking of community, obviously something that's really important to both of you guys. I'll pass it to Nat now. How describe to us kind of the community that's at Queen's Harvest and how important it is for you, and how you continue to foster that on a day-to-day basis.
Our community is everything. It's so important to us. Like, being in the market, it does feel like a big family, and you know, your customers are not just your customers. They feel like, you know, your family and your community. And like I said earlier, the thought that someone says, I've got to go to Queen's Harvest in the morning, or let's meet at Queen's Harvest, or you know, I've got to go to Queen's Harvest to get the finger limes for my recipe or the truffles for my recipe. That makes me so happy.
Surreal.
Yeah, I love that.
And like, do you feel like people kind of like, because you know there's a new generation coming in, which is like your cousins.
Yeah.
Do you feel you can get the connection of people that didn't know you before, or did they always know you, or?
Look, our community is growing
Wow.
every day, all the time. There are some customers who have shopped with us from day one, so there's a lot of familiar faces, but growing that circle has been the most rewarding.
And then being in the market, obviously, like it's one of the most beautiful things in Victoria, the Queen Victoria market. It's like, you know, being like a young woman trying to be in there. Did you feel like that comes with more challenges to kind of like be present there, or do you feel like it was just
I've grown a thick skin over the years.
yeah.
It's quite a colourful environment. I remember when I was young, you know, learning about working in retail and dealing with customers. You know, you get the angry customer, you get
Yeah.
the nasty person, you get
Yeah.
you know, the confrontation, and I'm not inherently a confrontational person. I
You're so sweet.
it
I
terrifies me. I don't enjoy it at all.
Do you lean on your staff members to take care of them?
Well,
I mean, like, take care of
Take
them.
care.
I'll
Take
take
care
care
of
of
them.
them.
well, look,
Put a
I
horse's head in their bed or something after.
no, I don't like to put anyone in that position. You know, we rely on each other. I mean, I've chased people stealing. I've caught people in the act, and I just won't stand for it. And it takes practice. It takes courage. You just learn that I'm not like that. Like I said, inherently. So I had to just kind of, you know, build a thick skin over the years. I think also as a female, and I guess perhaps people think I'm younger than what I am. It's happened before, but they might think, oh, she's just a young girl. You know, she won't bite back. She won't say anything. Oh no, you bet I will. I will say what I need to say. I'm fed up now with people thinking, you know, oh, she'll remain quiet. Oh, I can get away with putting this in my pocket, or I can get away with being nasty, or not anymore.
Wow.
Can you tell us a good story of catching
Yes.
someone stealing?
Bring it
Oh,
in.
I have a few. I watch someone, and the market is a tricky place for that because it's not enclosed. You're not in a store. You don't have security at the front.
Cameras, yeah.
We have cameras, but you know.
Yeah, unless there's someone watching them at all times with an earpiece in your ear.
Yeah,
you're not gonna...
you can't. So
Yeah.
you just have to be super sharp, and we're all like that. You know, for that reason.
But it's so easy to grab something and walk.
I don't know, especially
Really?
small items like you guys. You don't have barcodes or anything attached to them.
Yeah,
It doesn't go
yeah.
have gates.
Look, it's a different environment. I think over time, yeah, you become very aware, and it's unfortunately it's part of every business. Theft is such a problem, but if you're in tune and if you're aware and if you know what to look for, then yeah, you just got.
What would you do if you like caught someone?
I want to know
doing-
what happened. Why aren't we going on the story?
Yeah, let's go in a
Don't
story.
worry.
Let's go story time.
There's a few. I watched someone put an entire fruit platter in their backpack.
Oh, God.
It's like, how does that even happen? What's the fruit? How do you, wait, I just want to know quickly a visual of the fruit platter.
It's decent.
But then is it in a container? Or
I don't
like,
know
how do they put it in
where
their
he was
backpack?
going.
Like, isn't that just going to go everywhere in your backpack?
I think
Desperate people do desperate things.
Yeah, I think for free he didn't care if that was a little bit squashed, if it was a little bit.
And you saw it in like
And
you.
I watched, and I said to the guys, just give me 1 sec. I just need to watch this unfold, and perhaps he might come into the store and pay.
And pay, yeah.
I won't.
Of
pounce
course, yeah.
too soon. He sort of walked all the way down the aisle, walked past the first opportunity to pay, then the second opportunity to pay, and then we had one counter right at the end, and I thought, okay, that's it. If he doesn't turn in there to pay, I've watched him from A to B. I know he hasn't paid. That's it. And it's this. There's adrenaline. There's just so much instinct
It's
that you
so
just
hectic.
like. It's frightening. You know, I guess you don't know how someone's going to respond. And I approached him. I said, "Excuse me, have you paid for that fruit platter in your backpack?"
Yeah, go Nat.
What did
And he turned to me and he said, "No, I didn't." Straight away, he just opened his backpack and I said, "I gave you an opportunity to pay. I watched you this whole way. You could have paid for it, but you chose not to." I said, "You're not welcome at this store again. Move along." I will not
That's it.
tolerate it.
Clean, though.
It's
Clean.
So
It's
it
clean
feels-
execution. I was hoping for potentially a tackling moment.
No,
I do have to say that.
He was twice my size. There was no way I was tackling, but I will not tolerate it in circumstances where it doesn't feel safe to approach the person. There has been times I've had a watermelon thrown at me because I chased after someone who just grabbed it, and I was like, all right,
Still in a watermelon.
Grab the watermelon and run. What a plan.
Yeah, and it just got like tossed at me. I was like, all right. Another funny story was we had a giant stuffed toy. It's a kiwi. It's part of the Zestberry. Have you guys had a gold kiwi?
Yeah.
They're
Love
so
them.
good.
So good.
Yeah.
The best kiwi.
In
So
season. In
delicious.
season.
I have few here.
They're peaking.
They're amazing. So we were given a gold kiwi. It's a massive soft toy that one day we decided, we'll just pop it on the shelf, sort of closer to the walkway, to the aisle. And at one point, I think it was about 2:00 in the afternoon, and Zestberry had been there all day. Turned and I thought, this looks unusual. He's gone. Like, I went around to the team. I said, did anyone put it away? Maybe someone wanted to buy him, because I think you can either give it away, or if someone buys like a tray or something, they get it for free. I don't exactly know what the deal is, but it could have been given to someone and I just didn't know. So I thought I'll go around and ask, and nobody knew what happened. So I thought, okay, this seems petty, but I need to ask security if they've got any footage of what happened to the toy. And they came back to us and said, we found some footage of a parent lifting their child up to like shelf height. Child just grabs it and just walks right off with it. It was unbelievable. I mean, we haven't seen the footage, but we're not allowed to, but
If they just asked, you would have given it.
100%.
Like you
That's
gave
what,
Francis the
So
kiwi
crazy.
spoon.
yes, and that's
you
what I
add-
said. There's so much, they give us so much merchandise to give away, like spoons, pencil cases, colouring competitions. That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
But this is like a big ticket item. People resell these on eBay. Like,
Oh my
it's a big deal. And I just thought, oh God, there's just never a dull moment here, is there?
I
So-
really do like the contrast between like the two of you, because like you work in such a busy environment where you are surrounded by all these people.
Yeah.
Gemma, you work in like obviously
E-commerce.
e-com,
Screen.
which is like really on the screens. Obviously, you got your team and a little bit of interaction. Like, how do you like stay engaged? Like, personally, like honestly, sometimes we do have the shoots. That's how we're like kind of going out and meeting people.
You have the shoots.
Yeah, but like sometimes
You don't get to leave.
being in the same spot, seeing the same
No, it's
people
boring.
all the time, it can be pretty boring. How do you like kind of
You gotta have,
balance that?
You've got to get out. That's the only way. You go out to lunch, try something new, go to the
comes to visit
Preston market.
me.
Yeah, I go visit Nat. We do a lot of team lunches. And yeah, I take the girls out a lot. Get on a tram. You'll see a lot. But yeah, I think,
You have a store as well, don't you?
yeah, well, we call it a store.
Yeah.
It's quite funny, like I am starting to get customers come in because 2 weeks ago I changed the bio on our Instagram. It used to say click and collect Monday to Thursday, and now I changed it to studio shop Monday to Thursday. So we're getting
you go.
people come in now.
Where is that?
It's just down the road in Collingwood,
So,
on Lane,
yeah.
Cromwell Street, just near Bunnings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Around the corner.
So yeah, and we do have upstairs. We've got some creators upstairs. So 2 artists, photographer, a book designer, graphic designer. So we are in a world, but yeah, you can easily get trapped, and yeah, you just got to get out. Like I do, where I met you, in fact, I invited Nat and I said, can we go somewhere? Like this is going to be in a different suburb that I never go, and maybe it's just good for me to go. And here we are. Like you've got to get out.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to. Like it's so easy just to go home and watch YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
you know. But
You
yeah,
never
it's
know
so
who you'll
easy. I think
meet.
you do have to push yourself to be social.
Yeah.
But you have people in your face every day. You probably
Every day.
Yeah.
Every
Do
day.
you just feel sometimes like you just get home, sit on the couch, and be like, "Fuck"?
Yes.
You do, yeah, you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can really drain the social battery and the physical battery. So you just
Yeah.
get home and you're just dead. And during Christmas especially, we are working like crazy hours. We do like 5 days back to back of, we start at like 2 a.m. work until 4 p.m.
Stay in the
4
hotel
p.m.
across the road.
Stay in the hotel across the road. Shout out to Veru. It's great.
That's a real thing that you do.
Yeah.
Stay in the hotel across the road,
Christmas.
so you don't have to go back to.
It started as a bit of a fun kind of novelty, but we were like, oh shit, this is a great idea, because we just roll out of bed, we're at work, and then go back, shower, sleep, and we've got another day.
Sleeping at work.
Literally. Yeah, but it's the best time of year.
That's the Christmas
that's the crazy,
time, yeah.
That's
Okay.
the crazy time. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, but does it like drain your social battery? So
yeah.
when you're socialing, you feel like less enthusiastic about it, or
Look, because I just genuinely love being there, my energy is usually really high, and you feel happy at work. It's kind of easy to have that excitement and bubbly nature, I guess. But sometimes I get home and I have nothing left, and it does make it hard to go out after work, especially working weekends. Saturdays and Sundays are our busiest days, so if I have something on a Saturday night or a Sunday night, it's
So what do you do
This
outside of
isn't
what do you do
early
outside
enough.
of work to
nothing.
keep the ball
No,
rolling?
We're going out tonight.
we're going out for dinner.
Ooh.
nice.
Two gals.
Yeah. So I
That's cute.
it's kind of hard to find a hobby outside of work. My days off are when everyone else is typically working, so it sometimes feels like you're working on those days too. But I don't know. I just honestly just relaxing, being at home.
That's the thing when you just surround people
Is
and
it-
knows all the time. Sometimes it's relaxing
It's
what you need.
actually
yeah.
nice to have some alone time. I think
Yeah.
you really need that to reset and recharge, to feel like you're ready for the next day. Otherwise, you go from Thursday through to Sunday, like you're just on every day, and it can be a lot.
How was like your dad's kind of reaction to you saying, "I want to come and work here again," and like don't want to
I'll
have
never
the
forget it.
huh?
I'll never forget it. He was so happy.
Oh, he was happy.
So happy.
That gives me
Oh.
He was like, all right, Monday.
Rocco
What?
or Tony?
No, my dad. So Rocco's my uncle.
Yes.
He might as well be.
What's your dad's
my
name?
dad, John.
John.
Jono.
But I'm very close with my uncle because we always work together, and so a lot of people do think that he's my dad. But my dad sort of works wholesale, is more behind the scenes. But he's the reason that I have the work ethic that I have, is because he was the one. Although it was hard, sort of growing up. Oh, Dad, do I have to go to work? Yes, you've got to go to work. But he's the reason. It takes a lifetime sometimes to build those skills and those values. So, he was so happy. He was so happy. I mean, it was daunting to say to both my parents, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm really unhappy. I think they wanted me to enjoy what I did, and it was a bit heartbreaking. And I was having a bit of an epiphany. I was like, oh my God, I always thought that being a lawyer was what I wanted and where I belonged, but I always describe it as like fitting a square peg in a round hole. It just never quite felt right. So, it was working in the business has always been like a constant thread in my life, no matter what job, if I was in school or studying. So it was like, hallelujah, like she's finally here and here for good. So he was so happy.
What do you think is the next? Like, what are you pushing to achieve with Queen's Harvest? Right, you're obviously like you're not the youngest person in the business, or like you're the youngest family member in the business. No, because you're younger cousins.
The oldest cousin, I guess. Yeah.
But like leadership group, maybe, or like one of the youngest people. So like,
Yes.
what are you trying to? Where are you trying to go with this thing?
Well, you spoke earlier, Billy, like about younger generations, and I'm very passionate about trying to get our generation to shop local, to shop at the market, to make shopping like a religious experience. It's not a chore. It's not, you've just got to pull up to the supermarket to get this done and then focus on other things. It's like shopping for your produce, for your food is such a beautiful thing.
It's a nice activity.
Yeah.
So if I take my son to Coles or Woolworths, you can buy anything. You can buy peaches in wintertime. But if you go to Queen's Harvest, they just have what is in season. And I think it's important for kids.
That's such a good point, actually.
Kids
that
to realise,
you never think about, but like...
Seasonality, yeah.
Oh, because...
And it's cheaper. It is so much cheaper. It's more delicious.
It's fresher.
And it's just like how the world should be. Like we're sending peaches from LA to Australia.
Literally.
It's so stupid.
It's a bit terrifying.
And I just wish they wouldn't do it. And
Look, there's definitely it's a big shift to go from sometimes your supermarket shopping. The shopping at the market or any market is a bit more intentional. You kind of have to plan a bit more, parking, traffic and whatnot. But I had a customer once buy some capsicum, came back to me, had his receipt, and he said, I just looked at the price that I paid for these capsicum. He said, if I bought these at Woolies, I wouldn't have paid this much. This is a true story. And I sometimes it's hard to not take these things personally because it's like, this is my family.
It's your whole life, yeah?
Yeah. So I said to him, when you buy those capsicum from Coles, my dad's not buying them for you at 2:00 the same morning, sending them here in a truck, and then putting them on the shelf for you to eat 6 hours later. They're going into a truck. They're taking a longer journey. They're going to a distribution centre. Then they're going in the fridge. Then they're going on the shelf, and then they're sitting there for who knows how long.
they don't last long.
I was like, but not only that, it's like you're not just buying a capsicum. You're buying freshness. You're buying a different lifestyle. It's like literally, my dad will do the buying every day of the week, Monday to Friday, right? It comes on the truck straight to the shop.
Boom.
It's there. It just doesn't get fresher than that unless you're on the farm, unless you're growing it yourself. So it takes a big shift and a big change of mindset to realize. And when I think he was a bit taken aback when I said that. But it's kind of when you're in it for so long, you hear this sort of thing all the time, and you're hearing from people who are the Coles and the Woolies shopper, and that's okay. That works for some people. That's
Yeah.
But you can't compare it.
Yeah. Speaking of like quality and I feel like what Gemma is doing also, like you kind of like while everyone was going like digital, you went back to like prints, which is actually pretty crazy. Like I had an idea of like selling my prints back in the days, and I was just looking, I'm like, no one is gonna buy prints anymore. Like there's NFTs, there's digital art, there is like AI, there's, like to take that kind of bet on yourself, like what was going on? Like, did you not fear that kind of shift? And
yeah, there's, sometimes there is no fear and naivety. But someone reminded me the other day, I went to my brother's house and I just looked at all of his art and I was like, I gave that to you 10 years ago and I gave that one to you 15 years ago. So, and it just reminded me, it was like a timeline of me giving people art, and that's literally what I've been doing all my life. If I see a wall that is blank, I get really uncomfortable, and their next birthday they receive a print from me, even though it's not something that I painted. And I realised that's always just something I've always done. I've always given people art, and now I have an art shop. But one of my
wow.
That was really special.
It's so beautiful.
Did you paint that?
One of these.
Did you paint that?
I didn't. So this is painted by. So this is one of my artists that I commissioned. Almost forgot the word commissioned. We work with all sorts of artists, old, young. This one is done by Samantha Ashton. she is represented by Arts Project Australia. So they're just over in Northcote, and they are all artists living with disabilities, and it is the most magical place that I've ever stepped into. So you go in and you feel like you're somewhere else. Like everyone is so happy, they're doing their art. There's like pens and paintbrushes everywhere. There's like
school again.
You know, the racks where you put your art on, and yeah, these are super talented artists. They all have, you know, their own life, like, but yeah, they're people with disabilities, and you know, I want to work with all sorts of artists and get different perspective, which means that, you know, going in to support organisations like this is really important to me, but also working with, you know, my friend who doesn't have an Instagram following as an artist, that's also important to me. But, you know, also working with, you know, Australian icons like Ken Doan. So I try and work with a whole different variety of artists. So you got one of the special ones. And we just have an ongoing relationship with Arts Project, and it's something really special, and it's probably my favourite project. Yeah, her name is Samantha Ashton. We brought her into the market. Nat gave her a tour, and she took a lot of photos. And yeah, when you compare the photos to the artwork, it's a little portrait of Nat in there, and all the aisles of fruit and veg. It's just really special, and it was just a really proud moment.
You said that's your most special project to date.
Yeah, it was just
so cute.
That's so nice.
She had the best time. She was so smiley.
So how does it kind of like work for you now in terms of like your product? Like, how does the process look from A to Z? Like, how often do you do drops?
So we try and do them monthly. It used to be full collections, but the world doesn't work like that anymore. People want to be engaged all the time, so we try and do it monthly.
So once a month?
Yeah.
You drop one collaboration?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a little bit like matchmaking, I suppose. We have a lot of artists that come to us and say, hey, I'd love to be involved. What do I need to do? Same with chefs and cooks. So we just sort of, you know, say if a famous chef came to us and it just wasn't the right time, we'd just put it on hold and wait for the right artist to come along. So it takes about 4 months. That would be a quick turnaround to do a poster. So the first step is meeting them both, connecting them, getting the recipe, briefing the artist. I always try and make the brief really true to the artist's work. I don't want them to be producing work that isn't them. So, you know, we might receive something really true to them, basically, if we brief them properly, which is nice. And then it's the marketing, and I think the biggest thing about it is the storytelling. So there's so much you can get out of these. They're not just posters anymore. I don't feel they're representing different cultures. We did a project with Sunday Kitchen. So she's a Lebanese cook. Her mum came to Australia.
I love her
many
recipes,
years
by
ago,
the way.
yeah.
I follow her, yeah.
And she feels a little bit like how you feel like she wants to follow the family business and become, you know, learn more about her heritage. So she does a lot of amazing reels on Instagram and TikTok about Lebanese food, and she also does cooking classes, so you can be taught by Karima. So yeah, her mum and herself do that. And then we had an artist named Nori, she's also Lebanese, that did the artwork. And from that, there was such beautiful storytelling that I sort of didn't realise when I first started this project. Maybe the stories are even more important than the art. It's sort of just like a moment in time where we're capturing things that are important to people. So yeah, bit of a long-winded answer.
Yeah, that was beautiful though.
Yeah.
And I really resonate with the story being more powerful than the art, because it's kind of like you can't really have one without the other.
Well, and
sometimes one is more powerful.
We had, you know, business has been, you know, it's not always like selling millions of posters, but when we released this, it was such a beautiful story, and it was really heartfelt. We had this whole Lebanese community that we did not even know existed, just buying these posters because it meant something to them. They just needed it. And even to the point where a customer messaged me, she said, this poster means so much to me. You know, see this coffee cup in the painting? And she sent me a photo. She has a tattoo that was her coffee cup. So
Because they read the coffee cup, the rounded ones.
So using an artist that is within the same culture, you get so much like underlying messages from it. And it's not just, you know, art at the end of the day. It's sort of sentimental, which is really special. So we're doing more work around that. Hopefully some exciting things next year with Powerhouse Museum.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love how honestly, like both of you, like your story is really meaningful, and it's just inspiring how like you both have as much like passion for your work, really, and yeah, it's just inspiring.
Thank you. Well, yeah, I'm so glad that we met you, because when we first met you, I was just like, oh my God, he's talking about business. We were asking like what podcast we listen to, where sometimes my friends are always like, have you listened to this pop culture podcast? And I'm just like, no. Like, I just listen to like business podcasts, and it's really embarrassing because no one else seems to. And then when we connected, I was like, oh,
He gets it.
this is good.
He
Yeah.
gets it.
We
It
could
felt
be-
like a natural connection straight
We
away.
can be business friends, guys.
We're business friends.
Like,
Here we are.
It's what you need, that stuff. In terms of like how you I actually I'm curious, what's kind of like how do you make profit out of your business, and also how do you balance? I've read somewhere a statistic you've raised like $180,000, something
Yeah.
like that, or more. I'm not sure if that's wrong
Yeah.
or right. And how do you balance like, okay, you're working with this, you know, small time artist. You're working with these bigger artists. Like, how do you balance like your passion, I guess, with like actually needing to
Making
make
money.
money and things like that? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good question. So we have different tiers of artists. So, you know, me being an artist as well, I know what I would charge someone for my work, and it's hard for me because in the art industry, like, people expect work for free. You know, I just got a brief the other day and I quoted it and they said no, and it is not uncommon for businesses to ask me for quotes and say no, we don't have the budget for that. And I'm just like wondering what they expect from me and artists, and I've also a graphic designer, so I just know. So I pay artists properly, I pay them what they deserve. And we price, like, we get editions, so we don't own the artwork, we own the editions, so $300 per artwork. And I always want to make, one of the big pillars for me is making it affordable art and accessible, because I think everybody should be able to buy art to make them happy. Like, it's just, you know, it's so important to me. Like, I hate walking into a gallery. I feel so intimidating, and I never want anyone to feel like that when they come into my studio. I want them to feel really happy.
How much are the prints? Are they all the same price?
So we make them affordable. So for A3 is 100, A2 is 130, and then we add frames. So the frames, adding a frame, turn the business around. So, you know, if you add a frame, it's double the price. So all of a sudden we started making double our revenue. So we've grown 50% each year. Maybe not so much this year because I just wanted a chill year. But at Christmas, we make 50% of our revenue, probably a little bit like Nat. It's fucking crazy.
So at Christmas, you make 50% of the whole year revenue.
Yeah, which is, you know,
Wow.
not the most stable
So
business.
crazy,
Right? We're very
That's crazy. The first year that it happened, you must have been like,
I might just
what the
like,
fuck?
I might just shut the business.
And we know what to expect now, and we've learnt that, you know, our customers are younger. They can't, you know, afford, I don't want to say real art because I am making real art, but they can't afford originals that are $10,000. Usually this art is for people that are moving out of home, and it's possibly their first piece of art they've ever bought for themselves. So we keep it, you know, we keep it at a good price point, and we sell a lot of them. And
Beautiful.
we usually have, I like to call it storytelling for the rest of the year, and 2 times a year it's where we make a big chunk of our profits. And to be honest, I don't care if we don't make profits. I just want to pay my staff and live a good life and give back at the same time. So our structure is, we donate 10 meals for every poster that we sell, and that goes to Second Bite, and that just goes into a separate account. So at the end of financial year, we can donate and feel really proud. So, yeah.
It's amazing.
That is so incredible.
It's so beautiful as well, the way
Yeah.
you're speaking about it and, your core mission. And you've made a lot of sacrifices to make this thing happen. So
So
well
finally
done.
it's like feels really nice to get paid. Like I know, starting your own business, like it's not, people are probably thinking like it's easy. Well, as you're in it, you don't think, but like online, it looks like we're doing like amazingly, but we're like just doing fine, but we're also having fun, and it's nice to be able to support independent artists around Australia, and we get a lot of support back. So I feel like Melburnians really love Melburnians. So we send a lot of orders in this town, which is awesome.
And that's honestly, that's like a part of why we do this podcast, to spotlight the people behind the brand, and like to show the actual behind the scenes and what is it like to run your own business and build a brand, and the story and the backstory, and hopefully they resonate even more, and you better go and buy their prints and some
but also make it tangible, right? Because you got like people see the business and whatever, and online, and even like us online, I'm sure like that people think that we're doing maybe better than what we are doing.
Absolutely.
But it's good to just strip it back and just before me and Billy did this, or you guys did your thing, you were just regular people doing regular people stuff, and we are still regular people, but like you know what I mean. So it's good to know that.
Like as honestly, I think this is a great topic to actually talk about, like social media and like the way you present yourself, but like there's so much shit goes in behind the scenes. Like this week we got like literally one of the most intense weeks of our
and Billy's making us do it as well.
Career, and and like you share a story about it from the outside, it looks great, and it is great, but there's so much hard work and stress, and the stress, like just the constant stress in your mind, or like, and like being a creative as well, to perform.
It's stressful
and,
to be creative.
Like to go and like perform, and people expect a certain like quality of you, and I feel like talking like that about it.
That's when you need a holiday, Billy.
Yes.
He's about to go. Don't stress.
You need a
He's
holiday.
about to go. He's about to go.
I plan my holidays. So,
Speaking of holidays, of pricing things, Nat, I know you've got like a close community that you love and everything like that, and there's been a lot of things that have been changing in the produce sector. That there's been a lot of like natural disasters and prices changing and all that kind of stuff. Like, how do you go about pricing your things, and how does it feel? Like, are people buying less produce because like things can sometimes be getting more expensive, or
especially you're competing with like
you're competing with
Coles and Woolies, the big dogs, so
big dogs. It's really difficult because prices are changing daily, sometimes hourly. Like natural disasters, the weather is such a huge factor, obviously outside our control.
The rain has stopped the cherries.
Have you ever even thought about the weather? Like, honestly, from a consumer perspective, it's like you just don't even think about, the weather, really?
But it's one of the main, driving factors of price is that, farmers' crops are destroyed in, hours. It takes years and sometimes generations to build, and then you're like, okay, suddenly there's a storm, there's a cyclone, there's a flood. Okay, we've got no bananas for 3 months. Well, what does that do to the price? It drives it up immediately, and so your consumer's not always expected to think of that, but it can be frustrating when prices just skyrocket, and you've got people who are saying, well, that's ridiculous, your prices are ridiculous. Well, actually, it's not
It's
in our
everywhere,
control.
yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky. We've got great suppliers, and we have a good network that some farms have locations in Queensland and Victoria, and so they rely on each other. And of course, being in Australia, we have such a variety of climates. So you've got tropical climate in the north, and that's where you're getting bananas and tropical fruits. And then of course it's different in Victoria. So we're very lucky in Australia.
Do you get to meet the producers at all?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
not all of them. That's really my dad's domain.
But is it in your kind of passion, like knowing these kind of stories, or do you like more the customer face to face?
I think both are very important, and I really love both because I see firsthand where some, I guess, gaps of awareness can come from. So then being able to meet suppliers and know them, a lot of our suppliers are our good friends. Farmers are our good friends, so we know the impact firsthand. For example, our friend who's a strawberry grower, I don't know if you guys remember when people were finding needles inside strawberries. I mean, suddenly no one was buying any strawberries. And we got videos of just tons and tons of strawberries being thrown out because supermarkets just didn't want them anymore. That was it.
Needles in the strawberry.
Yeah,
I
remember
can't
that?
quite remember when it was. It might have been a couple of years ago now. But I don't know. I think it was a disgruntled customer who just put one in there somewhere, or maybe it came from the farm. I can't remember, but there were all these photos going around of a strawberry cut in half and a needle just kind of poking out of it. I mean, that's
Scary.
again, that's out of our control. What would possess someone to do something like that? But the effect that it had, again on waste and prices. So being able to sort of tell that story, being that middleman, I guess, to say, okay, it was a year, I can't remember when it was, when iceberg lettuce was like $8, $9, $10 each. And being able to explain, and that's also the difference shopping at a small business. You go into Coles and you ask someone why the lettuce is $10. You won't even ask someone. There'll be a sign and it'll just tell you the story. But not everyone cares about this difference, but I'm here to explain, I'm here to educate, I'm here to share why this is happening. And if you care about that experience, then shopping at a local grocer or a small business is going to make that difference.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
And what's your end goal in terms of Queen's Harvest and
I think it's a work in progress. It probably always will be, but getting the younger generation to appreciate what we do, and not even younger generation, getting anyone to appreciate how nice it is to go to your local and for them to know you by name, or to say, how was your weekend, how are the kids, or how was your netball game, or how was the party you went to last week. I love going into stores where I have that relationship.
I love that, Nat. That's really beautiful.
And we have a customer who said to me once, I live on my own. I don't have much family around me. Coming here is like my therapy, and it's my interaction. And I never quite realised that until they said it to me, and I thought, oh wow, this is such an impact that perhaps we won't realise we're having on people.
That's so.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
I literally am
Being an Italian, that would feel so good to hear that from someone. It's like you make me feel like you're like my second family or something. That's like the most powerful
How
compliment.
nice is that feeling? And I just wish more people got to experience that. And okay, it's a bit different to going to Coles. You might need to shop around for a few different things, but
That's why you've always got to be kind, because you don't know what's happening.
Exactly. And you've got someone who you can go to and say, okay, hey, can you source me a box of this? Can you tell me what the best potato is for roasting? Can you tell me what your favourite type of lettuce is? Yes, I can. I'm here.
Actually, can you give us some shopping hacks?
Shopping hacks. Buy in season.
Buy in season.
Buy in season.
What's the best season?
For me, it's summer.
Summer.
because it means cherries, mangoes, Aussie stone fruit. It also just feels like Christmas.
Also, smart marketing move because we're in summer now.
That was unintentional. But,
Chicken job.
but Gem and I were talking about cherries because we've got a recipe coming out featuring cherries.
Could we get a special price?
I know they're expensive around Christmas.
Come and see us.
Box of cherries.
But we like cherries just feels like Christmas.
It's
And
just
it's
the
so
best thing ever.
nostalgic. It's so
Delicious.
yeah,
Yum.
and the smell. I cut up a mango the other day, and just the smell of it. I don't know. It just gave me goosebumps. It just reminds us of good times. You know, warm weather, Christmas trade. That I think is the best season.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for you from a marketing standpoint
So
to
much.
turn this what you're talking about, this kind of like IRL interaction thing. I feel like as people have moved away from it, now it's kind of time for them to come back to it.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone's kind of waking up a little bit and thinking like, oh, maybe it's not right for me to literally just like be staring at a screen for like whatever 24 hours a day, and then like, even though I literally just did order my groceries.
I know.
I got them delivered for the first time
But not
ever.
only that, like it's also.
But I think people want that, and so I think there's a
Yes.
lot of ways that you could position yourself
Definitely.
as that, because it is such a rare thing,
It is.
and if you could make it part of someone's day
Oh,
or
I love
like
that.
their Sunday
And
as an
Sunday-
activity, like it's an amazing activity
It's
to do
so
instead
nice.
of like
Sundays are such a vibe.
I don't
Get
go-
your coffee, go have breakfast, or get a pastry.
do some fruit
I
shopping.
have to go
Come
back
and do
again.
shopping.
Yeah.
The other trouble, I guess, there's so much competition, not just within the market or like supermarkets, but
Everywhere.
you know, you can order your groceries on Uber Eats now.
Yeah.
The convenience, you know, all
The ads
these
are
like
good.
pre-prepared boxes, like
Yeah.
meal plan boxes,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you just
yeah.
have all the ingredients measured out for you, and all you have to do is just follow a recipe.
Convenience.
I mean,
yeah.
I can understand why that is attractive, but I want to urge people to just enjoy the spontaneity of cooking and being inspired by what you see on the shelf. Like you don't even have to come in with an idea. Come in, whatever takes your fancy, pick it up, have a go, and that's where you discover like the beauty in cooking. And it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Like we sell truffles and everyone feels, you know, intimidated by, okay, they're expensive, they're usually like quite fine dining. Man, just shave some of that and some eggs in the morning, and that is
Slay.
it doesn't have to be intimidating or scary. It also doesn't have to be like super structured. Just come in and
Test it out.
that's the hardest part.
Eat good
literally.
food. Yeah.
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 Love. Gemma, what's the end goal for food for everyone and yourself?
It's a hard. Well,
It's a
it's
tricky one.
it's like there's a lot of goals. So you know, I've got the community goal, like bringing community together and being, you know, a person in our city. Being able to support artists in our community and spotlight cooks and chefs, and being able to tell stories, and being able to give back. But yeah, I just think everything that you see that we do, if we don't do it, let me rephrase that. Everything we do has to bring us joy. We have this thing where if it doesn't bring us joy, we won't do it. So I just like want to bring joy into people's lives. It sounds really cheesy,
I
but
love
it's
that.
got to be like a good vibe. And
Yeah.
there's so much negativity in the world. Like I just want to keep it light, tell people stories. I would love for Food for Everyone to be, you know, a little bit bigger, but, you know, keep it small and keep it local. So we print in Melbourne. Like I just love how it feels so authentically Australian in Melbourne. And we are, hopefully doing a book. So there's a few goals. But
Tell us about the
yeah.
book. What's the book?
Well, we're hoping to do a recipe book, and it will sit in the recipe category, and we'll be trying to publish all our recipes, and it'll be a story about food and art, not just by us. Like we'll tell the history about food and art, because we haven't made this up. It has been something that has been done since someone could picked up a paintbrush.
Of course.
You know, like that Jesus thing at the Last Supper, like art and food has always had a relationship, and it always will. And when we're sad, we turn to food or art, and I just want to keep on championing that and having
Will
a
it be
good time.
illustrated by artists instead of photos, or you have a little bit of an element of each, or
element of each?
Right.
Yeah. So, and then the recipes and some stories throughout it that are meaningful. And that book hopefully will be worldwide.
how
Very
exciting.
exciting.
But just
Yeah.
like a bit of
really is.
legacy, and we've got some exciting things happening. And we're in the one special moment that we had, that we were invited to be in the Australian Culinary Archive. So everything we do goes into the archive, and I'm just like interested to see like what that will be one day, like when they'll use it. It's a project at the Powerhouse, and it's just nice to be working with organisations like that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations, that's
Yes.
really nice. Yeah, good girls.
Do you want to hit them?
Yeah, well, we usually like to end with a fantasy question, as we call.
We've got to change the name of the fancy
I
question.
like it, man. I think I like it.
people
I like it.
Fancy.
We'll start with Natalie.
Okay.
So, if time and place wasn't a thing, and you could collaborate with any person,
Yeah.
dead, alive, any niche, art, music, food, chef, soccer player, Tyrone, any person, who would that person
It can
be?
also be a brand as well.
Anything you
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
anything.
Plants.
It can't be food for everyone because you already did that.
Well, she's going to be host
Even
of
though it will be the
MasterChef.
obvious choice.
I've already put that out there.
Oh God.
Should be a
and
host
it's
on
new-
MasterChef.
Yeah.
She's going to be host of MasterChef one day.
That's the dream.
Yeah,
I'll put that
I
out
can
there.
see that.
That's your dream.
Dude,
It's
that
not.
would be very cool. It's
I
just
can
me.
see
For
that.
me.
I could see it, yeah.
Right?
I can see it.
I mean, who knows?
Sorry, butt in there.
This is the most exciting thing about working in this space, is that it's so unpredictable, and so much of our engagement and collaborations have happened organically, because like I said, we don't have budget for huge marketing activity. So that's one thing I just love about my job. But to answer your question, the best way to answer this is just to tell you honestly who springs to mind first. And even though I have met her, I have always dreamed of working with her again, and that's Nigella Lawson. I just adore her, and I was one of those kids who was watching like the Food Channel like all the time, every spare moment I had. And it came on the other day on ABC, and just like, the music that she used to have, like, in those little snippets where like she's going to the fridge at night, or there was so much nostalgia in that. I just just like a childhood icon.
And you've done a collaboration.
Well, we had the chance to meet a few years back through Melbourne Food and Wine, and I think that I can easily say that's one of the best experiences of my life. It was so surreal, but it's hard to know. I guess someone, a celebrity like that, how they're going to react or behave, and she was just wonderful.
And
was
she
wonderful.
had a tote bag? Was that
Yes.
her? Yeah.
So talk about being obsessed, right?
Yeah.
So this is the sort of thing where you just can never, you can never rest, you can never sleep. I just, as soon as I knew that she was coming to Queen's Harvest, even though I was kind of like, okay, just wait until it actually happens, until you see her, this is not real. But I just kept thinking, how are we going to mark this moment? So I already knew I wanted to bake her a cake, one of her own recipes, and that stressed me the fuck out, because I was like, I'm making a cake for Nigella, her own cake. And then I thought, how about we give her a tote bag, but it will get her name on it? Okay, seems like kind of a simple thing, but I was so excited when it came up. So the next day I went straight to our trusty embroidery lady, and I said, Nigella Lawson is coming to our shop tomorrow. Please, can you make this happen? Actually, I think it could have even been the same day. I can't remember, but there was just some freaky, like, tight turnaround. She's like, okay, leave it with me, done. So we gave it to her, and she was so grateful. It literally was a tote bag. She said it was the most thoughtful thing someone had ever done for her, and it's moments like that feel so surreal to meet like your childhood icon.
That's
She said
incredible.
that. That's so cute that she
That's
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the best day ever. I remember it so fondly, and if I ever had the chance to work, I mean, we had like a really tight time frame. We didn't have that long together, but you know, we showed her around the shop and we had a photo together with the cake, and I just don't, I'm waiting for an experience to top that. To be honest, the bar was set very high, and I could not think of anyone that I loved.
There will be another collab again. I mean, she hears this.
Come on, Nigel.
I mean, I think, did Nigel follow us? Or did she follow?
No.
She followed one of our clients.
The moment
Yeah,
she started following
That's
Queen's
awesome.
Harvest, I think
Yeah, you're
I
done.
died a little bit.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I'm sure you have this answer locked and loaded because you're
You work with so
collabing
many
all the
amazing
time.
people.
Do we need to ask the question again?
No. Well, this is really sad. No, it's not sad. I feel like I've worked with two of my heroes already, and I'm just like, okay, I'm done. Bye.
Bars high.
So to answer that, like, I just feel like I need to live a bit more. But I kind of, who I want to work with are like the underdogs. I love working with like the nonnas and the nonnos and the people making dumplings in the side street of Hanoi, like that kind of stuff. Just like the people that aren't celebs. Like, I love working with celebs. That gets us into the glossy magazine. But like, I just love working with the people that have like the families.
Gemma
and
actually came to my nonno's house.
I did,
It's
and
the
it was
perfect
like
segment
it was
to
the
that
best.
story.
Wow.
It was so good.
Put it in the show notes.
It was so good.
The
Did
real.
you get a recipe?
I did. I got gnocchi,
Beautiful.
and I made it with them, and I wasn't very good, and they did let me know about that. But that's okay.
I could see that
The
happen.
tough critic.
They
Yeah.
didn't let you. They let you know about it as well. That's
Yeah, they're
fair.
beautiful. But yeah, it was such a amazing moment. Like, just as maybe even more as special. Like, I got to work with Rick Stein, who I like grew up on his DVDs in Mum's Caravan. Like, it was just, it was so good. And the most exciting bit about that is what he came to me, and I was like, yes. And then I got to work with my art hero, who's Ken Doan, two old men. So yeah,
Love
I just
that.
feel like I'm just wanting to know. Like, I think I just need to get out more and visit some underdogs and tell like those kind of stories. And
That's beautiful.
I feel like that's a bit more real for me.
And that was such an honour, like
So
to
beautiful.
be able to have someone like you carry that kind of story, and it's not every day that you get a chance to share it on that sort of platform. And like, they're in their like mid to late 80s, and I've never seen them like.
They're going to
more
be on.
alive.
They
just
said the TV lady's coming, and I was like, "This is not the TV."
Instagram, TikTok is as good as being on TV.
But they all might be in a book.
How good is it when your nonni get recognition?
And
Because
you know,
like
the amount
because
of
they're so
sacrifice-
important to you.
Yes.
And
yes.
you just think that they're this like God basically in your life as an Italian.
Yeah.
And then when someone else kind of comes around and recognizes that as well, it's so, you just can't believe it.
But how nice is it to welcome someone new into
It
that
was
space?
really
I mean,
cool.
we don't know anything different, but it was the nicest thing.
I got
Also
a
for
tour
them.
of the salami shed,
You
and
went
there
in
was,
winter. Did you go in winter? The salami hanging?
There wasn't any at the time, but
Oh.
or
we
the
got a very detailed
passata.
visual of where things.
Right.
there was things everywhere. Opening a cabinet, passata. Opening here's passata. Like, it was amazing.
They're preparing for
Wow.
the,
The
for
shed,
end of the world.
kitchen
Yeah.
shed.
Yeah, for next year and the year after, and the year after that.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, on that note,
I think,
we
yeah.
could be kicking it. I
Yeah,
think
we're hanging out
almost
hard right
like
now.
at 2 hours, which is
Oh my
so unusual.
Cut that down.
I love
we
that.
Really just
We kicked
To
it
the leg
hard.
of the-
Yeah, we're hanging
So
out.
nice to chat.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
Your stories are so inspiring
Thank you.
and joyful as well. And thank you for sharing it with us.
Yeah.
And guys, thank you for listening. Honestly, if people are still listening, to like, it's like thank you.
Thanks for that.
Troopers,
For
real
real.
troopers.
Now, look, I think I can safely say that you two are two of the most beautiful people that we've had on here. Honestly, your stories are so inspiring. You're so genuine. I can tell that you're just both very kind and happy people,
Tyrone.
which is so honestly, which is so inspiring,
It's
and
beautiful.
you love what you do, and fuck, like, what more can you ask than that?
We-
Like, you guys are killing it in
Yeah.
every way.
Oh, thanks.
Congratulations,
Yes.
and thank you for coming.
Woo!
Yay,
Let's
us.
go.